Howdy peeps and marshmallow chickens. Hey, this here is a long cutting video. We're cutting right on the side of this road. And I get this request all the time to do long cutting videos. And I don't cut much anymore, so I don't get much opportunity. But this is going to be a long cutting video full of information. I'm not going to do a lot of editing and cutting out of this video. So if you want to pick up saw tips and stuff or whatever from our area or whatever, that's, and I am a little rusty. I did screw that one up. I am a little rusty, but there's still going to be plenty to learn from it and stuff like that. So if you want to get you some popcorn and sit down and hang out with us for a little bit, we'll do this together. And I'll kind of do some narrating stuff as I go through. I did get most of the bad words out of it, but I am pressed for time, and I don't have time to edit every single bad word out of it. But I think I got all the F-bombs out and most of the other out. So if you're watching with Little Johnny, Little Sally, it shouldn't be too bad, but there will be a little bit of longer language in it, but not a lot. So, that being said, I'll get into it and start explaining what's going on. The road, the highway behind us is a busy highway. You'll notice all through this video, every time I look up over the horizon there, you'll see cars buzzing through their trucks and everything else. I mean, this is one of the busiest roads I ever cut trees on, I believe. And it's the morning time, so everybody's buzzing through on their way to work and everything else. And every tree I'm cutting over here, Pee-wee's pretty much got to push back. All these little sugar maples got to be pushed back out of the way so they don't reach out in the road and we don't get debris out in the road when we're doing this. So most of these trees you're seeing me cripple and him push down is hard maple. Along with this one I'm doing right here, and he's watering one down right now. And I want everybody to realize I've been getting in trouble for some safety stuff lately, but I want everybody to, really wanting to capture in this video the ability of a timber cutter and a skidder man to work together. And most times when you're cutting, hand cutting, skidding, the timber cutter is the boss because he's the one putting his life in jeopardy. Bear in mind, if you're not around logging, look how close this big equipment works with your leg. I mean, your leg, you gotta watch your feet, you gotta watch all the time. And in a situation like this, when your skidder is your hydraulic pushing power, you guys got to work hand in hand. So, and I was going to say, most of the time the timber cutter is the boss when you're working on a skidder and cutter team, just because of the situation, not necessarily because mental capacity. But in this situation, it's even Steven. And if you go into this type of situation where you're doing push-pull trees off of trouble spots and you got the wrong attitude, it ain't going to help no one.
Stop traffic? What do you want me to have to stop traffic? I told him you'd be calling the shots. When you tell me to stop, I stop and go. You be the one in charge. I'll not fuck. So I'll make sure I don't fuck whatever you say to do. We'll do whatever you say when to do it.
Let me get up against that before you start.
Yeah, I was. I'm gonna cut the rest of it from the other side.
Okay.
Okay, I forgot to explain this earlier. I don't have the radio on me, but we got flaggers out on the highway, and it's a busy highway. And Pee-wee's got a radio, and he's basically calling the shots. So Pee-wee decides when we're going to do what we're going to do. Now Pee-wee is, let me explain him one time. He's a very experienced logger. Got a lot of age on him, got a lot of miles on logging in that man. And he's very talented too. So he's the guy we tend to, he's the guy you trust there on that type of stuff. So he's cut a lot of timber in his lifetime. So he knows what's going on the ground. We don't have to say a word to each other, and he knows what's going on. And it takes years of running skidder and stuff like that to get a feel like when he's against that, he from setting the seat, he can feel them fibers through the frame of that skidder, and he knows what the tree's going to do based on species, top weight, lean, you know, and all this good mess. And he can take in all that. Now it takes a lot of years and a lot of this one we're having a little trouble with this top locked up there, and he could feel, and he's in an awkward position with the skidder, but with the, and he's got that back tire way up off the ground on the other side, but he can feel through the seat and the chassis of the skidder that he's got too much fiber holding for what's going on, and he don't want to push hard on it because he's afraid the boom will slip off. Now this tree's got a lot of lean away from me, so this is kind of a dangerous move that I'm making, so I got to be quick on my feet to loosen up just enough fiber for me. I didn't loosen up much fiber, but he could tell from the feel and everything that was enough. He can give her hell, and down she goes. But you couldn't quite see the top release up there. The top was caught in two trees, and he had to push hard. Now, I'll shut up here a second.
I won't put it right on you. Maybe we'll go sideways or something, huh?
I don't know how far I can get up because it's got one strand broke down next to the spool. I need to keep at least a rack on it. You know what I'm saying?
You want Junkie to do it, or?
No, I'll do it. I'm not, his skidder's got a bigger cable. We might be better off doing his skidder. But
You want to do it? Do you want to do it that way? Whatever you say, that's what we'll do.
pick it up.
Now that tree we just did was a sketchy tree, and it was a sketchy situation because the teeth wasn't bit in real good. That was an ash, and I stepped down the back cut. I like to step down the back cut on a push-pull tree. It's just an extra little safety precaution without adding any extra movements. But that was kind of if you had to back up and check it out again, go for it. But that was just a real touchy one. Now this one up here is going to be pretty touchy. This is a red oak, and or Shumard oak or whatever. But in this situation here, it's got a lot of, I never really catch a good camera angle, but it's got a lot of top weight leaning towards the highway there. And this is going to take, and you could hear him tell you he had a strand broke on his main line. So, I mean, we already got, we're not working with 100% equipment here at this situation. He's got a short line and it's fraying to start with. So we're kind of playing this cautiously. And I think there's room up there. You gotta, when you're pulling a tree, you gotta leave room for the tree and room for the skidder both. And you can't, it ain't one of them situations where you can be off a couple 3 feet here, a couple 3 feet there. You gotta put the tree where the tree belongs. And he's gotta know, when you're working with a skidder man like this, he's gotta know when you tell him that this is what's gonna happen, by golly, it's gotta happen that way, just like you said. So that's one thing, if you're ever in these situations working, you ever get lucky enough to do this sort of thing, or unlucky enough to do this sort of thing, depending on how you look at it, your reputation is to call what's going to happen 8-ball corner pocket. You got to call them things. You got to call them, and it's got to be the 8-ball corner pocket. You know what I mean? It's just got to go where you say it's going to go, or there goes your reputation and your trust. If you can't trust that skidder man, and he can't trust you on the ground, this is not going to be a good outcome. And this ain't kindergarten stuff here. This here is, with what's going on here with the liability situation here, it ranks up there in the top 10 of the liabilities. I don't know, off the top of my head that we've done. I don't know, it might not be that bad, but it's pretty. There's not very many things that catches my attention and gets me to focus. And, you know, all the fun and games go when it's time to get serious. And this is one of them times. There's not. I'm not into joking. I'm not into cutting up. I'm into getting this right. Period. You know, and that don't happen to me very often. You ain't gonna see that side of log away very often.
in pretty hard on that white oak. That'll leave you plenty of room.
Cut him up to here.
Okay.
I'm gonna get right here.
Okay. It's leaning that way anyways.
Let me get up there. I've got a crack in it there, don't it?
Yeah, I'll come in pretty deep with it.
Yeah. Let me get up there and get tightened up and everything.
Yeah, make sure we move it good. Yeah.
Make sure my cable and everything.
Yeah, gotcha. I'll get out of the way so you don't shake nothing on me.
Yeah.
Now we got it hooked up. He's going to stretch her out, string it out tight. And what he does when he strings it out tight is he gives it a little tug. And I watch it from down the ground, and I see how easy, and it's a thing of experience. You just got to get used to watching it. And it varies with every single species. I mean, the variances is, you know, it varies with every different species and situation. Soil type, if it's dry ground, if it's wet ground, all that stuff changes the way this tree acts when he snugs down on it. And he's doing it from the seat. He can't really see real good from where he's at, but he can do it from the seat. You know, and the angle he's looking back, he can't tell if the tree's moving forward or backward real good. But he can feel the pull on the skidder, and then I can look from the ground and see that he's lifting it good. And I give him a little signal and tell him, you know, you're lifting it good. You know, and that's the communication back and forth, you know, and in this situation that it does lift good. So basically, if the cutting job's done properly, we're not going to have a bit of trouble lifting this thing. But I've got to brush them other trees pretty good to make sure there's plenty of safety net for him. So I ain't, you know, getting a tree close to the skidder, you know, or hitting the skidder. You know, if I hit that boom back there, it's going to blow them cylinders out, you know, and blow the packing out the end of them cylinders. It's going to be bad. So basically, you cannot hit the skidder. Now, a cable skidder can wear a tree some, but you don't want it. You don't. Once you're down to that, if your skidder's wearing trees, you're doing a shoddy. It's a bad situation anyway. Y'all ain't good. You know, it ain't good doing a good, crisp, clean job anyways. And the idea is to get through all this. This is plenty exciting enough. If you're wearing the liability on your shoulders, like you should be, doing this type of work, that's enough excitement for you. You don't need to be hitting the skidder with trees and having stuff break off and come at you and stuff like that to add to this excitement factor. Because you should be plenty excited to start with. This red oak, those of you ain't familiar with red oak, you see cars buzzing through over the horizon down there. This red oak, it's medium density wood. It responds well. I like working with red oak. We work with a lot of red oak. I like working with red oak. I like the way it feels. I like the way, especially in the wintertime. Now in the summertime, the tops are heavier, and it's not quite as easy to pull off some things that you'd like to pull off with them. But you got a forgiving hinge. You can leave fatties on it. You can leave a decent amount of tear wood, and it's going to act fine for you. You know, you don't have to worry so much about pulling fiber so much with the red oak. You know? But you also need the fiber because it ain't going to fight back real good like a hickory or a white oak does. You know. But now watch where I go in here. Almost all these trees that we're doing today, I'm going to step down my back cut because of physics, you know, which I can't preach at enough. Now, if you're worried, now usually when you step down your back cut, you get a fat hinge. If you're worried about that, you can always take the tip of your saw and bring it into the center of the hinge just a little bit to narrow up your insides. To, you know, a little bit if you need to. But I'm just, and I'm not, if you're not up to this experience level, don't be taking these things that I'm doing and go good. I mean, please do not do it. I don't want to have to sit here and worry about somebody sitting there doing something they've seen us do here and somebody get hurt. All I'm trying to do is provide a few more tools for people doing this if they need it. But mostly kind of clear my own name that I do. We are doing safe work, you know, here. But a lot of the safety is not in our situation here. It's not in your, you know, your sun visor or your daggone cutter pants or long johns or whatever. You know, it's just doing a good job of working together and communicating well. And here we're getting out of the way. Now I put my saw behind this tree just in case something goes wrong so nothing gets it. And I wanted to get out of the way plenty good. Now watch how hard I rub them other trees to keep this tree away from Pee Wee. About the max capacity. I didn't need to rub them any harder than that. If anything, I probably rubbed her just a little bit too hard. But she went down good.
Step down back cut.
All right, I'm heading across to the next one. I want everybody to see, the reason I didn't delete this off here, I want everybody to see all the traffic coming down this road. And we didn't hold them up. Me and Pee Wee didn't hold up traffic till I cut the back cut of the tree. That's when Roger and Robin shut the traffic off. They didn't shut it off till then. Look at all this. And they're coming from the other way. And Stevie goes to tune that daggone horn at me, picking at me. And I couldn't tell where that horn was coming from. I thought, well, daggone, them trucks are blowing at me. What am I doing? Do I got a boog hanging or what? What's going on, fellers? But
I'll walk up there, I'll snoop them as I go.
Now the trees we're getting ready to cut here, the next couple, 3 trees here, is some little ash trees. Well, one's a pretty decent sized tree. I think the first one ended up being a pretty good sized tree. But I gotta loosen this beech up. It's a piece of junk anyways. The damn beech ain't worth it. But anyways, he's growed in with the others, so I gotta follow them 2 together. But look at the meat that I'm leaving holding on it, because the traffic's still going to be running through. I'm going to cut this tree and it's going to set back on me. Now watch this back cut. Watch the trigger fold shut once I get the wood done right. See? So anyways, so I had to have a good enough setup there where that tree's going to sit there good and safe while I'm working on this ash.
Just take a little bit, and that's cut. Don't bump that one. Just take a little bit. Pull around, just pull it out there. Yeah. Look at this cable right here. It'll fall. It'll fall.
Alright, he's going to back in and we're going to just hook this up about head high. That'll be enough to get me what I need. It's just the ash ain't leaning back too good, too hard. And it's got some dead up in the top, so it's lost some weight up there. That's all things you gotta factor in. If that tree's it's the emerald ash borers are getting it, and it's kicking her in the butt, So you're losing weight up there, and it's at the stage where there's still leaves growing on it. So it's a stage where the wood's still solid and good and predictable down below. It might be a little brittle, but not bad. It still make good lumber and everything, but the top, it's starting to lose its weight. So then you can get cockier with these trees, and we're getting ready to get cockier with it too. And I stand back as he snugs it. You see all them dead limbs up there? Them's dangerous. Them trees are dangerous to stand underneath, especially when he jerks up on it. Now, the good thing about the way Pee Wee operates is he's got a soft touch anyway, so you know you can rely on that out of it. You don't need to jerk the skidder man around to get your butt killed. In these situations, you need a smooth, good, predictable, easy going, not jumpy skidder man. He got her snagged up.
I'm gonna just notch it. I'm just gonna notch it.
All right, now what I'm gonna do in here, and I was explaining to him, so he knew, in this situation, the communication's key. I mean, and when you're used to working with each other, you don't need a lot of communication, but you need to let each other know what's going on. And I was letting him know I'm gonna go in here and I'm gonna loosen this baby up, and get her ready, but I ain't gonna. The main reason I told him that was so he didn't think I was gonna sit there and just keep her buzzing. And that puts pressure on him to get traffic stopped. He knows that traffic don't have to get stopped before I get done sawing, because I'm gonna make sure to leave plenty of tree left. So that way when we do shut traffic down, we don't have people held up for any longer than we need to. Now once again, get them little beach son of a bucks out of the way. Once again, when I come across with the back cut, I'm gonna drop her down a couple inches and I'm gonna step down this back cut on this tree. And I come halfway around, I think, and kind of park it and chill out till he gets the traffic right and he says go ahead. See, he's communicating with the guys down there, so he knows when it's time to go. There's 3 people checking in on the radio, basically, in this situation. Now, you watch on this tree, the way it's notched, I cut this whole spur off on the side here. Which that's on the side Pee Wee's pulling on, but yeah, I got plenty of hinge everywhere else. See how it popped out the bottom there? You seen where I popped out underneath that. You can see that 2-inch drop in the back cut, Alright, it's all Pee Wee now. Now, look how smooth he's working. Now, that winch is either on or off. So he can't soft touch it over. He just kind of bang, bang, bang it. It's got a hydraulic friction in there that grabs it and goes. It's just on or off. And it took that little beech tree with it. You can see the beech leaves fall, but you couldn't really see the trunk fall. But it went slick. I'll go down here and unhook him, and now I'm going to start topping these trees because the din had made it past us with the way I was going to try to start down here earlier on so I can cheat and get the din top some, but Pee Wee wanted to start on the other end because he had a tree that was worrying him down there. So he kind of wanted to knock that out of the way first. So it's kind of lifted off of him. Now, this other one is just going to need a small push too. And I can't tell if I'm talking to him or not. But he's going to back down and put the tires up against this tree I'm standing on topping. And then we're just going to pull the main line out and snag onto the next one and get him to hold it. And I'm going to draw it sideways of the cable. Which, that tree, the tree we're getting ready to cut, does have pretty good hard backlink. And I'm only going to do him head high on his cable instead of backing him all the way down in there and mess. So, this next tree, I'm going to work this hinge hard on this next tree. And I do a triple hinge on it. And you can see when the tree falls here in a minute, you'll see that every bit of that fiber was working hard on this tree. So the tree we're getting ready to do, try to watch it real close and see if you can see what you can take away from this. But I'm working the fiber. We're getting ready to work this tree hard. This next tree is going to be a hard one. And you can see when I get it down, that safety net is there's no grace. This next tree we're getting ready to bring down is 100%. And you can see I stopped a few times as I'm cutting it to recalculate, because I'm seeing as I go into this tree that there is no safety net. There is no, and you can tell, I got some junk in my way. I got cut out of my way, but you can tell as I start taking this tree apart, I'm like, oh man, there's no, usually you got what do you call it, the safety net, your safety net. There is no safety net with this one. This tree is full max. We're maxed out on this one again. So there's no, main line's pulling hard as it can. Fibers are pulling hard as it can. The tree top is barely going to get in the hole, and it actually breaks the top on another one of the trees on its way down. So, but I'll shut up and I'll try to shut up. We'll see if I might have to say something here in a minute, but I'm going to try to be quiet on this one the best I can. See that traffic going through here. Now there's a maple leaning to the left real hard up there, but that ash standing behind it is marked, but it's got ash borer pretty bad in it, so I'm counting on the top breaking out of it. And I'm counting on that maple to be there for my bank shot. That one that was leaning off to the left back here, I'm counting on that one to hook my tree and slide it back into the woods for me. So Pee Wee's cable and the triple hinge I'm getting ready to throw in this thing is going to hold it till I get to that bank shot backboard back there, and it's that sugar maple is going to squeeze me in the hole. You see I'm looking up, second guess, thinking, man, there is no, man. I'm looking at it and I can't quit looking at the tree. So, and then I decide I'm going to get these leaves out of the way so a feller can see up that tree better, because we're maxing out our safety net here. Is what is going on here. See how it cut is where you can slide off the bottom? I've seen guys stab damn near the picket fence out and somebody trying to walk them down. Now, what we're doing now is we're getting a hazard vision obstruction out of the way. Now, let's look up that tree. There we go. Look up in the front. Now you can see them limbs out there. Whew, boy. We got her though, but I mean, there's just no... Taking them second looks now, it's a big deal on something like this. If you're out in the middle of the woods, it's one thing, but up here in these situations... And here we go, throw the triple hinge. Now on these triple hinges, I had a few people asking about triple hinges. You got to make your relief slice. It's got to be at least, I'd say 4 inches or more above the plane of your notch and below it also. And that gives that wood that room to flex in there. That wood has got to flex in there. And folding, as you go, your different hinges are folding and shearing past each other. I don't know how to kind of explain that really, but you got to have that extra vertical top and bottom so they can shear past each other as the tree flexes as it goes down, or else you're going to just break it off. You might as well not even mess with the triple hinge. And here I'm going to yak at him, I think.
You're mostly, hey, it's going to swing out the side. You're mostly just holding it, okay?
Okay, it's going to fall between down below this maple behind me?
Yeah, between the two maples.
Behind me?
Yeah, not the big one, but the next two.
Yeah, okay.
You're mostly just going to hold it, and I'm leaving plenty up here. You're just mostly an insurance policy on this one.
Okay. Just hang on a minute.
Okay. Okay.
All right, here we go. Now I'm coming around, I'm getting that bottom wood done first, the compression side. And then that's why I'm tickling at it. Now as I swing through, you see the bus, now I'm getting out of here.
Don't fall on the road. Beautiful. Beautiful. Hell yeah, that's a twofer. That's all that's of each one. Look at that, pulling up that triple hand. Man, that's ever bit that tree one.
Now you can tell right there I gave that thing every bit it had. There's no more that tree had to give. We utilized Pee Wee's cable.
Get that unhook, I'll top it.
Every bit of the triple hinge. Our backboard tree and took the top out of this other tree. I mean, there was no safety net left. This was max capacity right here. Now here's the type of deal this is probably not the safest. Standing on the tree you're topping. Don't be doing this type of stuff. This is not the kind of stuff I should be bragging on here. We're tickling at it though. Well, the reason I'm showing this is because I wanted to show this next little tree. Now the Westerners, they do the Humboldt, and we don't do that much in the East. But there's a situation like this right here. When you're dropping a snag, now there's plenty of situations you can still use a Humboldt in the East. But here's one I love using Humboldt on. All right, Pee Wee's pulling that out. Alright, this thing, by the time you cut off enough of a snag to make it fall, you pretty much don't have a hinge left. You know, because there's no top weight to pull it over. So I like using Humboldts on these snags because when they start to fall, the front face passes the stump, and on them Humboldts, they can't come back off the stump at you. And that's what I love about a damn Humboldt. But a lot of our woods, so they gotta be. It's got to fall so far usually, you know, before the... Here I had this tree growed in this hard maple, and I couldn't figure out why ain't it falling. I got it almost cut all completely way off. And then I get to looking over here and it's stuck to this maple tree. Look, it's got a big old wart on this maple tree. There it is. But anyhow, we cut this sucker loose and get it down. Anyways, I'm going to get off here because I'm about to shut this off. But thanks everybody for watching. Hope y'all liked it and everything. And part 2 will be coming and to finish this up. And thanks everybody. Later on.